Hello everybody, my name is Galacti, and welcome to another video. Two in a day. I think that's pretty good. I mean, this may come out today, hopefully same day as my Spider-Man Far From Home figure review. And it just makes sense because I've already mentioned how he ranks in this list. Today, guys, though, I I rewatch my videos just to make sure they're at least decent and not completely garbage. I try to make sure. And I realized when rewatching my video, I told you to suggest figures that you'd want to see me review. And I know that, you could say a Spider-Man figure, and I could go grab any one of them, or Thor, Captain America, just name a few. You can name almost any Avengers character, and I could probably say, I got a figure for that, and review it. That's good and all, but maybe you want some specifics. Maybe you want to know what I think. What are my favorite figures? Well, today, guys, I'm going to go over my top 10 favorite figures. Just to give a little heads up, maybe a year ago, maybe a little even less than that, my list would consist of all Marvel Legends. Now, not so much. It's kind of funny to see that. There will still be Marvel Legends, but as I got a job, as I was able to start paying for higher end figures, just like this one, I was able to have some better figures. Like I said, though, that does not mean that Marvel Legends are not on the list. In fact, I do believe that Marvel Legends have over half of this list. But it's still interesting to see that these import figures have taken a pretty strong grasp in what I favor now. Of course, they are higher end, so it would make sense. But this list, mainly my factors that I've looked at to help me decipher this, what I did was I actually went throughout my room and pulled figures from the shelves that I have of my favorites. Which ones would I think might make it into the list? I believe there were 19 figures, and I limited them down to 10. Now, do not worry, I'm actually going to show you those other figures that I had, and they're considered honorable mentions. And actually, as I am speaking, I just turned my head, glanced, and I saw a figure that I didn't see before, and he isn't my favorite, but he's definitely going in the honorable mention slot because I completely forgot I had him. So, before we get into the actual list, let's look at some honorable mentions. And to start off the honorable mentions, we have the, I believe, 2018 Venom movie wave Venom Marvel Legends. I really do love this figure. And do not worry, I'm going to put more figures like clumped together just based on like where they're from. And actually, I might as well go ahead and clump this guy in. He's in my back, but we'll try to chuck him in. It is actually the Marvel Legends Dr. Octopus. And I did buy these custom arms on eBay. They're really nice, posable. Actually, if you are really good with yourself, you can get him to stand. So right behind there. And you can see he's standing just fine. And he does look very intimidating. It was hard not to put him on the list. And I do want you guys to know that a lot of my figures I have put customization work into. Some of the figures are just like that, including him. And I would say the reason I even considered him is because of the arms that I was able to buy. The other arms were great and all, but they weren't posable. That's a big flaw for me. But I still love this figure. And in fact, Dr. Octopus is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I'm sorry, Goblin fans. And speaking of clumping all of them together, we have the Ironmonger from Iron Man 1, the Mark III armor, and the Mark 7 armor. And I'm so sorry if I get any of those wrong, but I do believe I got them all right. These figures, I did decide that for my list, I wanted one figure that represented a character. So basically, I couldn't have three Iron Men. There is an Iron Man on the list, but these three just weren't my favorite. There's one suit that I do like better, and this goes on personal like preference. So if I like a suit more than the others, I'm probably going to put my favorite suit on there. Now, that may not be true, like depending on, oh, but this suit has really poor articulation or something like that. But this really does go down to personal preference. And I did recently get this figure, so I kind of I wanted to put him on the list, but I said, I haven't had him long enough to where I could say I might just still be like gushing over him because I still just got him. But he does look really well with my Mark III armor, so these two really pair well on the shelf, and I'm super happy about him. Amazing purchase. The Mark VII was actually was a while ago. But I did get him when he came out, which is kind of rare for me sometimes. I kind of wait maybe to see if they lower in price, but this was an instant buy, so I had to throw him on this honorable mention list. And these figures, I am really upset that I couldn't chuck the MODOK into this list. I really did want him, guys. I love that figure, and you can actually even see with my lights, those little things in his eyes, those are actually his pupils. Those are not just my actual light beaming in. Those are pupils, which are really cool and scary. And I just love that MODOK figure. That was another one. I actually pre-ordered him on Amazon. I believe it was ordered on Amazon. I had to have him, and I absolutely love him. The Ultron is incredible. And again, I wish I was able to chuck him on the list. The Doom, I love him. I still do. I just think I haven't had enough of Doom, like, personal, like, because I know people love this figure, and so do I. He's on my honorable mentions. There just hasn't been enough Doom that I've been intaking for me to really appreciate and enjoy this figure to the full extent that others have. I know he is regarded as one of the best Marvel Legends ever for a lot of people. So, again, I just haven't had enough Doom in my life. We actually have two more figures to go over, so I will not cut this as I go grab those figures. Because I did want to mention again that one of these figures is a repeat. You're going to see this figure on the list. Now, not this one. Actually, he's sitting right next to me. We have the Black Obsidian Surfer, who just looks amazing. I put him in with my Fantastic Four characters. His other purple piece fell off. We also have the Mafex Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice Batman. And I love this figure. I do. But there is a Batman just above him. Just above him. And I will talk about it. The reason, and I'd love to go over this figure especially in more detail. There were things I had to fix about him. So first off, the shoulders right here, I had to actually cut these out. And the reason is because it only go like this far. And I want more from that. So I made it to be able to go up this much. But he has such a nice presence, which is why I definitely had to put him in my honorable mentions. And I only paid $40 for this figure, who is going, I actually bought him at the Exchange. It's a store here. I'm not sure how far-reaching it is, but it's a really good store. You can get these figures, some figures for cheap. Some of them go for really expensive, but I guess they didn't know that this guy was top dollar. So I'm really happy that we got him for cheap. And then this figure, of course, is amazing. I'd love to review him too, but without further ado, let's actually get on to our top 10 list, starting with number 10. And at the number 10 spot, we have the, I'm not going to try to guess the year because people will bash on me if I get it wrong, but we have the Fox Movie Wave Wolverine with the jacket on. I do not have the jacket off version. If I did, he'd probably be my favorite, but he was just going for so expensive. And I'll be real, I actually like the hair on this one more. But I would just swap this head for that, I'd put this head on that body. But still, I absolutely love this figure. I love the live action Wolverine more than like a comic look, even though I do have a comic Wolverine. This, I just like the live action more. I think Hugh Jackman was amazing in the role. And although I don't really like the movie that this figure is based on, I love the figure itself. I think the claws look incredible. The new claws that they implemented, the head sculpt is amazing, and I love the suit. Yeah, this figure is just really, it has a great shelf presence. And at the number 9 spot, we have the, I believe, I'm going to say, this was 2021. This was 2021. This is the new Captain America. So this is Falcon Captain America, part of the first Disney Plus show, MCU show wave. I did buy every one of them. I built this figure. I absolutely love him. I love this Captain America. Not as much as Steve Rogers, but that's just because I love Steve Rogers' Cap more. He's the OG, in my opinion. But I do absolutely love this figure. Like I said, I bought every single figure to complete the wings. And if you're not aware of how this worked, each figure came with a piece of the wings. I do have all of them. I love all of them. I know a big complaint was the fact that, well, I hate that it's not a Build-A-Figure piece and it's the wings. I have to say, even so, I would have bought all the figures anyway because they're all amazing in my opinion. They're not on the list, but that's just because I think every other one is better. All the other figures that were previously mentioned are better. But that doesn't mean they weren't good. They're really good. I actually have a Disney Plus shelf on one of my best shelves. So this figure's kind of the centerpiece, but he is behind. But he's my favorite from that wave, and of course that's probably because he has the whole wings. And I know I'm rambling about this figure, but I really do love him. I think the wings look great. I like how they're movable. Love the shield. And I love the figure itself. I think that they really went in a good direction with this figure and with Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. So I really have no complaints. And at the number 8 spot, we have the Merc with the mouth himself, Deadpool. And I gotta say, I remember when this wave, like the Deadpool movie wave came out, and I saw this figure alongside Megasonic, I'm not even going to say that right. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Believe me, it's a tongue twister. I saw that 2-pack over at GameStop, and the first thing I did was picked it up. Have you ever just been at anywhere where you're buying figures and you just see that 1-pack and you're like, yeah, I'm taking that. You don't even have a second thought. You just kind of grab it. You're not even worrying about the price. I didn't. I think I paid $50 for it for the 2 figures. Negasonic is not here because she's very much a lackluster figure. I do not much care about her, but I did get Cable, so I do have like a Deadpool 2 little area for them. But they are with like the other Fox heroes too. I like to pose him with Wolverine. So that might be another reason why Wolverine made it on the spot, just because these two look great together. But nevertheless, I love this Deadpool figure. The articulation's amazing. The accessories he comes with, he even has, I have his unicorn somewhere. Now, the big issue was these guns right here, but if you heat them up, you can actually take them out, and they look really good. The swords, and just the overall sculpt of this figure looks amazing. Maybe if they put in a little bit of like, a little more paint to the red to make it look a little dirtier. Not too much though, but like, it could look better, but I think for what they did, it is amazing. So Deadpool takes the number 8 spot. And at the number 7 spot, we have the Mark 85 Iron Man. This is the second version they made, and it is definitely the best. I actually made a review on the original version. That's still up on my channel, I believe. And I have to tell you a funny story about that while I go grab it. I hope you can still hear me, because I do want to I want to reminisce about this story, but when I started finding out how I could make a really nice thumbnails, or at least decent looking thumbnails, this figure actually had a big problem. I had scratches on it, and I had to try to change up the chest, and it doesn't look as good. So this is what it looks like, the chest now, and it looks okay on the shelf if I'm not, staring directly at it. And the light does shine. So this is what it normally looks like. Not really shiny like that, but like this. But still, so I actually, if you see the review, it's turned, I think the picture I took was turned like this, and it was actually meant to hide all that. So I kind of found that funny. But this version is just the better version. I like the color red more, even though it might not be, I don't think it's, I think the other color might be more accurate. I actually like this one more. The gold's much better though, and the gunmetal gray. The accessories he came with are fantastic. I think the reason he might be so far down is because he came in the 2-pack with Thanos, and that Thanos just it's okay, and I have him displayed actually with my Black Order, but there's a better Thanos, and we're actually going to talk about him soon. So I had to pay for both of them. And I actually did pre-order this set just because I knew I'd love this one so much. It even came with the the little, gauntlet, which I have in 1-to-1 scale. I bought that. So if you ever want me to review the gauntlet, I would be happy to do so. The Robert Downey Jr. head sculpts are amazing. And actually, I will say that this place, and I think we're on 7th place. So 6 and 7 were almost interchangeable. No, this is 6th. I think this is 6th. I already lost my place. No, we're on 7th. Nope, I just figured it out. I paused the video and took some time to actually count and not be stupid. Sorry about that, everybody. We are on 7th. Yep, 7th. But 7th and 6th place could have been interchanged. And I will explain the reason I actually like this. I think I like Iron Man more than this character. Maybe not at this point, but there is a reason why I gave 7th an edge, or 6th the edge it deserves. And speaking of 6th, we have 6th, which is the Doctor Strange from the Spider-Man No Way Home Wave 1 set that came out this last year, 2021. Man, I gotta be careful. We're in 2022. Think about it. This figure is so fun to play with. Now, I think the big reason why I had to give him an edge is because I did buy, and I actually bought this before I had the figure, this custom Cloak of Levitation bendy wire cape that is just so fun to pose around with the figure. And I'd love to do a review on him, I think, because I have so many different accessories for him, and he just looks fantastic. The head sculpt's amazing. I love the new Eye of Agamotto. The original one is nothing compared to this. The new sculpt, incredible. This really is my, I absolutely love this Doctor Strange. I'm not even sure if I like the new suit more than this one. I know that might get that might draw some attention. I'm not sure. I may like this one more. I may like the new suit more, but this one just has a special place in my heart. It is amazing, and I think the reason I gave him the edge was because I just pose this guy all the time. I love to take him off my shelf and I can spend a long time posing him. I absolutely love this figure. Oh, and at the number 5 spot, we have the SH Figuarts Endgame Deluxe Edition Fat Thor. I love this figure. This figure is also very high up because it has a special place in my heart. This is the first SH Figuarts figure I've ever bought. This was one of the biggest purchases I made when I first got my job. I do have a few accessories that don't come with it, like this right here. This was from the Infinity War Thor, and this was from Ragnarok Thor. But I just added them on because I think they look good. And he just has an amazing shelf presence. I actually did customize the figure. I put some brown throughout his hair, and I also raised up the neck to give him height, and I super glued this hair down because I didn't like how in the original he's the hair's sticking out, because that's not how he's supposed to look. The hair's supposed to go straight down. And I think, to give a better example, I actually have a customized Thor head. This is how the hair's kind of supposed to look. Now, it's supposed to have that design on the top, but it's supposed to go straight down in a sense. So I did that. And like I said, I customized my figures, so it's not going to be like the original. But I think it still gives that presence. I love it to death. This is definitely, in my opinion, it deserves the number 5 spot. Oh, and okay. At the number 4 spot, we have the SH Figure Arts Avengers Endgame Thanos. Uh, this figure was incredible. I never regretted buying this. The accessories he comes with are amazing. This is the best, I think, 1/12 scale Thanos. Endgame, at least. The accessories he comes with are great, as I may have mentioned before. I completely forget if I said that. The build, amazing. The sword, incredible. And there's so much more he comes with. I'd love to share it with you, but I can't. Not in this video. You have to ask for a review on that. Oh, and I'd love to review it, but you got to ask first. Remember this guy? At the number 2 spot, we have the Avengers Endgame Marvel Legends Worthy Captain America. And this figure, I actually did a review on. Now, I have done some customizing and some upgrading to it. So, first off, the shield, actually, I put a magnet in it. So you can take this out. There's a magnet on the back. You can port my shield on. I do have 3 shields for this figure. Now, one of them I won't show, but it's actually the shield that originally came with this figure. It also has a magnet on its back, though, so you can kind of just imagine what that looks like. But I actually did buy 2 of these. One of them, sadly, is broken. But since I had that other shield, I made the broken shield, and I tried to make it as film accurate as possible. There's a little more cut off on this than I intended to, but it looks pretty darn close to what it's actually meant to look like. So I'm really happy with that. I actually have the SH Figure Arts Thor hammer on him, so that's how I display it in my main Avengers Endgame little display. I actually have the 3 of them, my Captain America, my Thor, and my Iron Man, displayed in the front, and I have my SH Figure Arts Thanos in the back. That's like my big display. I actually have a poster, and I did actually show you in my room tour, I believe. So if you want to see that, watch that video. But yes, this figure is actually my favorite Marvel Legend. He's at the top. So the other 2, you know the one. I think if you watch my last video, you know which is my favorite, but that second one. This was a hard one for me. He used to be my favorite. I had to, but the Spider-Man, well, I kind of said it, but the Spider-Man dethroned him. Let's get on to that one. All right, and at the number 2 spot, we have the Mafex Batman Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is the black variant, and some may say one of the greatest 1/12 scale Batman figures ever. Definitely the best of this one. I absolutely love this figure. I had such a big problem with getting Batman figures. I would buy, $20 to $30 range ones, and they just always sucked. There was always something wrong with them. And finally I said, he's my favorite. I'm going to get I'm going to get a more expensive figure. And I'm so happy I did, because I've never had to get another one except for the one Mafex, but that was just because he was cheap. I think the sculpt is perfect. Incredible. I love this version of Batman. The articulation, even for a big figure, you can get him doing some amazing things. And I do love the cape. So I love kind of hiding his body with the cape. I think it is just incredible being able to do some of the things with this figure that you're able to do that I feel like you shouldn't be able to do. This figure definitely used to be my favorite, dethroned, but still incredible. I recommend buying him if you don't have a good Batman, or you just, you like this movie. If anything, just buy him. He's such a good figure. And at the number 1 spot, was it really a surprise? It's the Mafex Spider-Man Far From Home's Spider-Man upgraded suit. I love this figure. It's even better with this Tom Holland head sculpt, but I really do. I'm not going to talk too much about him, because I already talked about him in my review that I made today, but I do genuinely think that this figure is amazing. I love him. All right, and here are all my figures, all 10 of them, I believe, standing in the light box. looking fantastic. Again, these are my top 10 figures. Let me know what you think. Do you like any of them? Do you hate any of them? I know there are a few figures that might be hated upon. I don't think the Bandai Thor, I know some people like the Marvel Legends version of it more. If I ever make a Thor review, I will explain why I actually dislike the Marvel Legends one a lot. Um, I know some people don't like him that much, or the Wolverine figure. They like the other one more. I like the jacket though. I do like that. But some that are mostly agreed upon are the Thanos, not this Iron Man. Some people just thought it was another cash grab. They do. I think me and other people though like the head sculpts and the weapons he comes with. But he's kind of like eh. But like some of the figures I know people are like, yeah, on board with are like the Thanos, the Batman, the Captain America. Spider-Man is like an but I think they will admit he's like the best 1/12 scale Spider-Man from Far From Home. The only thing is the ab crunch, I think. Doctor Strange, he's better than the Infinity War version by Marvel Legends by far. The accessories are good, but if people have that version, then they won't spring to get this one. But I would do it. It's so good. But that's just my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And hey, now that you have a better understanding of what I have, what do you want to see reviewed? I have all these figures. I have a ton more. You saw my runner-up list. I'd love to review any of them. And again, that's only a light portion. If you ask for a certain Avenger you like, or a certain type of figure, or one that you saw me, like if I do a review and I say, here's this guy, at the end, I say, here's Spider-Man next to Mysterio. I throw out my Mysterio. And if you guys want to see a review on him, say so. If you see a figure next to a figure and you say, I like that figure, I want to know more about him, ask. I will definitely at least put it on the list for reviews that I want to make. But those are dependent on you. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to review. If you want to like the video, go ahead. If you don't, all right. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you don't, okay. If you want to dislike the video, go ahead. If you don't, okay. That one doesn't matter. If you do or don't. Apparently, because YouTube decided to mess with the system again. But guys, I hope you have a good day. And I do want to explain why I went on break for a while. There are some things I want to talk about, and I might do that in a figure review, just to kind of get both out of the way. I've been known to do that, I think, in the past. Do a figure review and explain where I've been. So I just want to put that out there. There are reasons why I left. But I want to get back into it, and this, even buying this stand, this tripod, this huge tripod that I bought, just to do this, it was nice. So I'm happy I can be back. I'm happy I can do these videos. I do want to try to cut them down, though, in time. I know the one Spider-Man review was 30 minutes, and this is going to be 30 minutes, too. This one makes more sense, though, Spider-Man review. I think that was just to get back into the things, and he was my favorite figure, so there was a lot to talk about. With many of my others, hoping for about 20 minutes of video. And I do have a lot of talking. I talk a lot, so I'm going to work on the rambling, even now. So just let me know what you think. Let me know what figures you want me to review. And also, let me know if you want to see a top 10 worst figures. I would like to do that. Because I love to praise my figures. I actually really hate, though, trying to find the worst of the worst. But I think I could do it. So, let me know if you want to see that. If not, okay. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, though. And I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.